Hi boyos, fools, and ghouls, I'm your coffee gremlin Alice McLean speaking, and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be drawing Pokemon Gijinkas, aka Pokemon the Anthros. And first up is my favorite Pokemon, Sableye! So let's get started! Sableye became my favorite back when I first started playing Pokemon with Ruby and Sapphire. I was challenged to a Nuzlocke, and I ended up surviving with only 3 Pokemon left, which was my Jolteon named Ace, my Arcanine named Haley, and my Sableye named Loki. And now, ever since I've done that Nuzlocke series, every time I catch a Sableye, it's always named Loki. When I tell you that this Pokemon became one of my favorites because not only of the Nuzlocke challenge, but also it eats rocks as much as I drink coffee, and that is perfectly fine. I don't have a problem. You can't stop me. And when I tell you I go out of my way to collect the merch for Sableye, I am not joking. Like this, on my recent trip to Taiwan, I found a gacha area and it had Sableye merch. And I went out of my way to grab as many tickets as I can just to get one Sableye towel. It was the last thing I pulled, by the way. After that, I went to a trip to Shibuya and ended up getting a Sableye shirt, and now it's my favorite shirt. Anyways, this is what my little Yami Rami, Sableye, and Loki look like to me. Next up, we have Porygon Z. Porygon Z actually became one of my favorites after I played Pokemon Go. It kind of threw a tantrum, and I just couldn't stop laughing at it, so I just kept hitting the screen of my phone for like a good solid half hour just to see it throw the tantrum. Its toddler-like freakouts are one of the reasons why I really love this Pokemon. It is also the reason why in Pokemon Legends ZA I went out of my way to capture a giant Porygon just so I can get the giant Porygon Z. Do I use the Porygon Z? Absolutely not. But did I name it? Yes. Its name is Toddler. Because again, that's what the freakouts remind me of. So funny story, I was actually watching an Among Us playthrough and ended up drawing a spacesuit. It wasn't actually supposed to be that, but it ended up happening that way, and I absolutely love it. I was trying to go for more action figure, but like the space theme was just too good to pass up. It's a toddler in space! But here's my rendition of Porygon Z, and I hope you like it. The next Pokemon up is Crobat. There's not much to say about Crobat. I just really liked Crobat's design. Also, now that I'm looking back at Crobat's design, I realize that his bottom wings are actually inverted and backwards, and that's kind of freaking me out just a little bit right now. Anyways, Crobat was one of my favorites when it was introduced more in the Pokemon show than in any of the actual games. It just had like a really funny personality to me. The inspiration for me drawing Crobat like this actually comes from Dracula, A Comedy of Errors, and it's just a sassy rendition of Dracula, and it's one of the reasons why I drew him this way. Other than that, I really like Crobat's shiny color palette. Pink and green are my favorite colors to combine together, and it's just really fun to have a character that's pink and green all over. So here's my rendition of Crobat, and yeah. Next up, you got the cutest of patootiest Esper. And if I said it once, I'll say it again. Esper and Sableye are like the representation of my 2 brain cells. On one hand, you have Sableye, that's my chaotic and spoopy side. On the other hand, you have Esper, and that's my I've seen some stuff, but I'm gonna need a nap side. But at the same time, I always wanted to think of Esper as like more of a child, because Meowstic is like has the mom and dad energy, and Esper's just like the kid that's like stuck in the middle of a divorce. I also just really wanted to draw him with like really big eyes, and like I ended up really falling in love with the eyes that I drew. I know people don't like the eyelight, and I'm okay with people not liking the eyelight. I might make another version without the eyelight. But there's a reason why I keep it in there. It's because Esper's eyes turn bright blue when they use Psychic. and I just kind of wanted to represent that just a little bit. So here's my rendition of Vesper. What do you think? Next up is a Pokemon that I really liked after it was introduced because it was one of my favorite animals, the Eye. Graphii! I am not kidding. When I was drawing Sonic OCs, I turned my Artsona into a Eye. Do with that information what you will. At the time, I was listening to a lot of grunge and metal music when I was drawing this, so it slowly turned into a Team Skull grunt, and I kind of really love it. When it was introduced in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I literally tried to go out of my way to catch a Strudel, and the very first Strudel that I saw turned out to be a shiny one, and it was like the best feeling. Unfortunately, that's where my shiny luck stopped because I never caught another shiny afterwards. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet just hated me. So when Pokemon Legends EA had the Mega Dimension and popped out a Strudel, I was like, yay! So here's my rendition of Graphii. Hopefully you guys like it. And yeah, next up is Baxcalibur. Baxcalibur, along with Garchomp, is actually my husband's favorite Pokemon, and I just really wanted to do like a badass female knight for him because his Baxcalibur is a female and it looks really cool. Again, there's not much I can say about Baxcalibur as it is not technically my favorite Pokemon, but my husband's favorite Pokemon. But I really wanted to do this justice, and I am a sword girly, so I really tried extremely hard on the sword. I kind of love Baxcalibur doing like the little pokey thing in the ground when it does a flip though. That just makes me laugh a bit. It's kind of like it's saying, I failed a backflip, but at least I stabbed you, which, relatable. On another note, this one actually gave me a lot of problems in Photoshop itself. For some odd reason, Photoshop just really hated me doing this ice armor thing and ended up shutting itself down a bunch, which is why you could see like a bunch of errors pop up. So here's my Baxcalibur. Since the majority of you voted yes on my poll for making a request board for the Pokemon Anthros, feel free to put your recommendations in the comment below. So take it easy, boils, fools, and ghouls. I'm gonna make a series of these Pokemon, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. I want to thank Dragonseed for being my Ko-Fi supporter. Your help is very appreciated, and thank you so much.